If a blank can't get it, we're moving on. I just came across a video that was put up by the elder whatisthe666mark. This was on the GMS South Carolina 05 page, YouTube. The name of the video is "Unbelievers Will Be Disregarded." And this is a still shot, 2 minutes and 16 seconds in of a 39-minute video. And you see here, you see the Jake came out of nowhere. And you can see that he has his pants hanging off his ass. You know, bottom line is the Most High. Oh, it says on the top here, it says he ignores that question because the elder whatisthe666mark asked him about the mark of the beast, and he kind of said something about it, but he kind of walked over. He's looking at the pictures. Then he about a couple of seconds later, if you watch the video, he notices the picture of Cesare Borgia, and he says, you got him as a Negro. And he said the guy's Middle Eastern. And these Jakes are bugged out of their fucking mind. And you know what? You know, you have a lot of people when we go out. Well, why ain't you going in the hood? Cause all you're gonna get is niggas like this. You're gonna get these ghetto scholars, and you're gonna get niggas that's really not gonna come into the truth. You know, like I said a long time ago, I said I believe that the 144,000 are already sealed, which they are, but are they woken up? Now, I doubt very seriously if this guy is one of the 144,000 unless he repents. But we're in a time of this end coming, you know? And after this individual left, they brought out Amos, the 9th chapter, dealing with the sinners of our people. They're gonna die. The Most High is gonna destroy them. We're only here to not to wake up, because the Most High will wake up the elect. We're only here to push this word out, because the Most High said through the Apostle Paul in 1 Corinthians, the 1st chapter, by the foolishness of preaching. So the Most High, the way his movie, you know, he's the ultimate director, and the movie is this. I'm going to have my people be destroyed by the Edomites. I'm going to set up all these nations, and at the end, I'm going to raise my people up and take Esau, which is over the world right now, put him on the bottom of Israel. You know, that's in 2nd Ezra's, the 6th chapter. You know, we know it by heart. You know, Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. And we done brought this out many a times. Yeah, it says in the 9th verse, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. And this is why you got guys like Vocab saying that we don't accept the Apocrypha, because you have to deal with this. Jacob is, if Jacob is in the power seat, then the kingdom would be here. It's obvious Jacob is not in the power seat. So who's in the power seat? The one that's getting ready to go down, which is Esau. So that's you so-called white people. You're on the top. Let me get back to this here. And like we've been saying, The Most High is only dealing with the elect. He's not dealing with anybody else. I was watching another video with the elder out of GMS Baltimore, and he did a video where you had that demon called Sister Cherry and G-Man. They had like a live stream, and she was going into the history, the Leviticus, the 11th chapter, and she knows it because they watch us. They even beginning to grow beards now. I notice vocab all of a sudden he's growing a beard. Even Dr. James White the Edomite is growing a full beard. He used to have the beard kind of like a goatee, and now he has a full beard. So they're really following us. They're really learning from us, and they know in their heart of hearts that we have the truth. Anyway, the Most High is only dealing with the elect. And when we go out on the highways and the byways, it's because the Most High told us through the foolishness of preaching. He told us to go out on the highways and the byways and teach the children of Israel. You got Israelites that are trying to teach other nations when that's clearly in violation of the scriptures. The Most High, and I always go to this scripture, Ezekiel the 3rd chapter. It was told to Ezekiel, eat this roll, which represent the scriptures, and go and teach the children or the sons of Israel. Didn't say teach Edomites if they accepted or other nations. The Most High gave us the instructions, and our job is to go out there and to push this thing out. And you jakes out there that push this thing that you can eat swine, the Most High is going to destroy you. The Most High is going to destroy you. And he's going to make you take that chip. Because the chip is the new swine. When you read, as a matter of fact, let me go to that. When you read First Maccabees, the first chapter, and you start at around, you can read the whole chapter. But the key point is in the 41st verse. And I'll read some of it. I may read the whole thing down to the end. Show you how wicked Antiochus Epiphanes was and the way the Most High took him out. If you go to Google and you put in Antiochus the Fourth or Antiochus Epiphanes, if you go to Google, it'll reference you to the Maccabees, the books of the Maccabees, which show you that the Maccabees actually existed during the same time period as Antiochus Epiphanes. So Esau knows that. Anyway, it says here in the 41st verse, moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people. So that goes back to the whole one world government, one world rulership. On the Federal Reserve note, the $1 note, it says Anua Coeptus. It says what does it say? Our enterprise is crowned with success. That's what it means if you go to Google. And the success is on the bottom, which says Ordo Novus Seclorum. Order, Novus, new, order, Seclorum, meaning world. New order of the world, which is a one world order. So during the time of the king Cush, Nimrod, during that time period, they wanted to establish a one world government where everybody spoke the same language, they dealt with the same money, and they're doing it right now through the beast. And that mark is going to be the thing that they're going to use to say that everybody's under one banner when they take that chip. Now, back during the time of Antiochus Epiphanes, they didn't have the chip, but what he had was to take away the truth, the law from the Israelites. So it says, moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people. So if you're going to be one people, you have to prove yourself. You got to do certain things. If your law says don't eat pork, he gonna make you eat pork. If your law says circumcise your sons, in order for you not to keep the law, don't circumcise your sons. And there were women. Now the Israelite women back then were much stronger than the women now. These women are bugged out of their fucking minds. The majority of them should have straitjackets on them. And they should be in a padded cell because they bugged the fuck out. But back then, you had what was called honorable woman. So you had women that, and it's right in this chapter, that they had went against the orders of Antiochus Epiphanes and went and circumcised their kids. You know what this demon did? He killed the woman and hung the children, the babies. But anytime you say this man's a devil, there's always a Jake that'll jump up and say, no, you can't say that. That's why we don't give a flying fuck about the 2/3. You know, if you can't, we teach you the truth. If you can't get it, we're moving on. Like Yaquab said, way back in the 80s, in the 90s, if a nigga can't get it, we're moving on. Well, that's an attitude you got to take. And we go out on the highways and the byways, you know, we don't have to go to a particular place or a busy place. Basically, when we go out there, it's for a backdrop because the Most High said, go ye out on the highways and the byways. And the word is being pushed now through the internet, the YouTube. So where will the elect come into this? They don't got to be standing in front of us. They can be 1,000 miles away, 100 miles away, watching us on YouTube. Anyway, it says, 42nd verse, and everyone should leave his laws, so all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Now these were other nations that he had power over, and they said, yeah, we're with that. We won't follow our laws. And you had Israelites that had the same thought in mind. 43rd verse, yea, many also the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath. For the king had sent letters. So this was a systematic thing. So the king had sent by letters by messengers unto Jerusalem or Jerusalem and the cities of Judah or Yehoiada, that they should follow the strange laws of the land. Now Jake, that are unbelievers like these Christians, you can not eat pork now. You can say, I'm not going to eat pork. I'm going to be a vegan. But Jake, they push that you can eat pork. It says, and forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbath and festival days. So you had your feast days. and pollute the sanctuary and the holy people. Who are the holy people? The Israelites. Set up altars and groves and chapels of idols, and sacrifice swine flesh and unclean beasts. So when you go to Leviticus, the 11th chapter, it breaks down what beasts you can eat and what beasts you can't eat. Now this demon, Sister Cherry, said that law of not eating flesh and not eating certain foods, she basically said that that's only for the priests, the Levitical priests, but it wasn't for the rest of Israel. So the Most High's got a special destruction for her, because she's nothing but a demon. First of all, she's a woman. The scriptures say a woman shall not have authority over a man. But our women are completely out of order. So the Most High is going to kill the majority of our people. And we're living in serious times. And you Israelites that are playing games with the chip, when that chip comes, man, you're going to have a lot of your people bugging the hell out. They might try to kill you, because they might say that you lied to them. 48th verse. That they should also leave their children uncircumcised, and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanity. The word profanity means outside the temple, doing things that are not holy. It said, to the end they might forget the law, to the end that they might forget the law. And that's what these Christians do in the churches. They'll say the law is done away with, and change all the ordinances. And whosoever would not do according to the commandments of the king, he said he should die. Now what does it say in Revelation, the 20th chapter, and the 4th verse? It speaks about them being beheaded for not taking the chip. In the self same manner wrote he to his home, and appointed overseers over all the people. So this was a systematic thing, where they went and checked on people to see if they were eating pork, to see if they're checking their kids, to see if their kids the woman or the parents circumcised their children. It said, commanding the cities of Judah to sacrifice city by city. Sacrifice what? Swine flesh and unclean beasts. Then many of the people were gathered unto them, to wit everyone that forsook the law, and so they committed evils in the land. And you know, when you eat pork, that's a wicked thing. And that's why the Most High, like I said early in this video, I said the Most High is going to destroy the majority of our people, and he's going to do it in a harsh, vicious manner. See, once the Most High gathers the elect, the rest of you, he's just going to destroy. Because the Most High set up the prophets, and we came out and told you that you were Israelites. The ones that listen are most likely the elect, and the ones that don't are simply not of the elect. And what is the Most High going to do? He's going to destroy the non-elect of Israel, and drove the Israelites into secret places, even wheresoever they could flee for succor. Succor meaning money. Now the 15th day of the month, Cas Leo, in the 145th year, they set up the abomination of desolation upon the altar, and build idol altars throughout the cities of Yahweh on every side, and burnt incense at the doors of their houses and in the streets. And when they had rent in pieces the books, this right here got me pissed off. And when they had rent in pieces the books of the law which they found, they burned them with fire. And that's what they're doing now through guys like Vocab. They're basically saying that we're breaking down scriptures the wrong way. So just like they came against us back then, they're coming against us again. And they're set up by the elites. 57 verse. And whosoever was found with any book of the testament, or if any committed to the law, the king's commandment was that they should put him to death. So now you can open up the scriptures. But if you notice, you go on YouTube and you might do a video and you hitting scriptures, right? You ain't saying nothing, you ain't cursing nobody out. You know, you ain't calling the N word or the F word or whatever, you know, Q word. But you might just read a couple of scriptures and they might take down your video. 58 verse. Thus did they by the authority unto the Israelites. That's why we call ourselves Israelites and not Jews, because you have the tribe of Judah, which is Yahweh, you know, the tribe of Benjamin, the tribe of Levi, which make up the 12 tribes of Israel. So it's in the 58 verse again. Thus did they by the authority unto the Israelites every month to as many as were found in the city. So they checked on them to make sure they were eating their pork. If they had the law, they would rip the law up, burn it, and then kill the person that had the law. And they did that in chattel slavery. We're talking about 250 years ago. If they found you reading the scriptures, they would put you to death. It says, 59 verse. Now the 25th day of the month they did sacrifice upon the idol altar, which was upon the altar of God. So they took the Most High's altar and they sacrificed swine flesh. And that's how this devil operates. That's how this devil thinks. That's how this Edomite operates. It says in Psalm 50, verse 16, you read a couple of verses down from 16, 17 verse. It says that they hateth instruction and casteth the Most High's word behind them. They don't believe in the Most High's word. 60th verse, at which time, according to the commandment, they put to death certain women. They were putting to death women that had caused their children to be circumcised. So women back then were more honorable than the women today. Most of these women are demons, man. And the majority of our women, they're going to die. They're going to die by the sword. They're going to die by starvation. They're going to die in the riots. And a lot of them are going to die by way of the missiles. It says, 61st verse, and they hanged the infants. So how old were these children? They had to be around 8 years old or around 1 month old, because when they found, they would remember they were checking each and every house to see if the children, the newborn babies were circumcised, because they knew the law was on the 8th day you circumcised all the men children. Now there's a reason why they said the 8th day, because if you did it on the 6th day, the baby would bleed out. A baby doesn't develop, your blood clots. You know when you bleed and the bleeding stops and it forms into a scab. That's the bleeding clotting. So scientists have found out that on the 8th day, that's when a baby, in this case a baby boy, they developed the clotting effect in their blood, so they wouldn't bleed out. So that shows you that the reason why the Most High said the 8th day, because it's scientific. There was a reason behind it. Where Esau's scientists and doctors are just finding out. There's a reason why the Most High said don't eat pork, because pork is not designed to be eaten by man. And I guarantee you, Sister Cherry's not gonna eat a mouse, but guess what? She will be eating mice and every other cockroach out there when the Most High brings judgment against her. All these people that have come up against us, man, they're gonna be judged. They're gonna be judged, and we're not gonna feel sorry for them either. 61st verse. And they hanged the infants about their necks and raffled their houses and slew them that had circumcised them, meaning killed the woman. Howbeit many in Israel were fully resolved and confirmed in themselves not to eat any unclean thing. But what does Jake do? Jake, he's an apologist for eating pork and shrimp. Like I said, there's going to come a day of reckoning, and the Most High going to bring judgment on y'all. And when you cry and say that you're Israelites and call on the name of Yahweh, he's not going to hear your prayers. It says 63rd verse, wherefore the rather to die. So you had men and women that were willing to die than to eat pork. It said, wherefore the rather to die, that they might not be defiled with meats, and that they might not profane the holy covenant. So then they died. And there was very great wrath upon Israel. So the Most High is raising up, starting with the men, the elect of Israel, and they're not gonna fear death. They're gonna defy everything, and the ultimate thing that you're gonna defy is that mark, that chip. That's why the Most High put the spirit on us to go so hard on pushing the chip. We're coming to some serious times. You Jakes out there, you Israelites that been playing games, you're gonna get caught out there, man. Anyway, with that, I'm gonna say shalom, and it's on to the next one.